Ooh, doggy, what is going on, everybody? I hope and pray you are doing phenomenally well. I am super excited, as always, to be bringing you all these training videos. So, today, what I want to discover is data, okay? Pulling data, understanding the different types of list and what list type you should be pulling if you are new and just getting started into real estate investing and wholesaling real estate. Okay. But before we go any further, please do me a favor. Like this video if you get value out of it, subscribe to the channel, and share this with 2 or 3 people. Okay. And also, this video was requested by a subscriber. So I take video requests. All right. So if there's something that you want to see on this channel, let me know. If you're a subscriber, I have no problem doing a video specifically just for something you want to see. Okay. But let's talk data. All right. Now, you are going to hear tons of gurus out there talking about how they have a niche list or some type of list that nobody else has. I'm just going to raise my eyebrow at that, okay? I completely disagree with that, y'all. There is no niche list, okay? I could literally go and pull lists by the county, and guess what? That guru that is talking about how they have a list that nobody else has, well, if I simply pull data by the county, then guess what? His pre-foreclosure list, his probate list, his tax delinquent list, his list stacking of lists, are all on that county records. Okay. So at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily matter what list type to pull. Okay. So I want you to know that. And I'm actually going to pull up here in just a second who I'm currently using to pull data, and that's Propstream. All right. They even have an affiliate link with the channel. And so I'll make sure that's left in the comments for you to get a 7-day free trial for that. But when it comes to list, right, you have to understand that we are looking for problems. Okay. The only time that somebody is willing to take a 70% offer on their house is because they are going through a situation in their life. And by them selling that property will provide a solution to the thing that they're going through. Are you with me? So you're going to find problems on the divorce list, the probate list, the tax delinquent list, okay? All of those type of lists. So I don't want you to get caught up on one specific list. What it's all going to come down to is 3 things: volume, consistency, and follow-up. Period. Right? Volume, consistency, and follow-up. Okay. So with that being said, when you actually click into Propstream and log into your account, this is what it's going to bring you to. All right. Let's change this view a little bit so I'm not blocking it. So let's say I am looking for Harris County, Texas. That's Houston area, right? So when I put in the county that I'm looking for data for, you see it's going to auto-populate all of this information up here: pre-foreclosure, auction, bank-owned, cash buyers, liens, vacant properties, high equities, and then all searches here, okay? So number one, I would highly recommend that you are doing this in a large metropolitan area. Okay. If you live somewhere in Dinosaur, Colorado, or a smaller town, you're not going to get a lot of opportunities. You're not going to get a lot of data. So let's look, for example, let's find a smaller town that comes to mind. Tyler, Texas. Okay. It's an East Texas town. They have 7 foreclosures out there. Okay. Do you see the dramatic difference between a large city and a small city. Okay. So let's go back to Harris. Now, what you can do when you're in Propstream, the pre-foreclosure is probably one of the most common, most talked about list amongst your real estate investors and real estate gurus. Why? Is because it is an obvious problem, right? We know that they are facing foreclosure, hence they may have a certain level of motivation, right? So I would recommend that you always pull the pre-foreclosure list. But here's the thing, this is where a lot of people get caught up or mixed up. They try to filter this down, and I'm not filtering it down. This is just me specifically. I'm going to select all 1,600 of these. And what I would do is I would create a new list in here. This would be, what are we in, July 2024, Harris pre-foreclosure. And I would save that. So now that I have it saved, I could literally go over here to my properties. And if you scroll down, and this is one thing too, y'all, I'm not just partnering with Propstream just because this is a company that I use and have been using. I mean, look, this goes all the way back to 2021. Okay. So this is a platform that I am actively using and still use. So let me find our list here. July 2024 pre-foreclosure, Harris County. I select on that. And now when I select all, I can literally export this data. Okay. I will be fully transparent. I do not use PropStream's skip tracing. I skip trace and get all of their contact information from a different platform, which I can do a totally different video on that. But literally, I would select these, export them, then I will have all 1,600 of these leads. And what I would do is then I would literally just go back and start calling all of those sellers to see if they're interested or open to a cash offer on their property. Okay. But so many people are trying to filter this down. Don't call them all. Even if the auction date is past due, like right here, it says recording date, 11/01 of 2023, they could have gotten that postponed. There's things they could have done to kind of dodge that bullet, so to speak. So the best way to get the most accurate information on these properties is by literally calling the seller. Okay. So another thing you can do when you're pulling your data, you can go in here to quick list choices underneath the filter section. You select here, and now you have all of this list types that you can do. Pre-probate, zombie properties, tired landlords, vacant, senior owns, failed listings. The list goes on. I'm not going to go through every one. If I could sum this up into two list types that I believe that every single new investor should be pulling, pre-foreclosure and pre-probate. Okay. So if I select that for Harris County, now I have 1,200 right here. Are you with me on that? So if I combine these two lists, now I have a good amount of data that I can go skip trace and start reaching out to sellers. Okay. But you can always play around with these different search options here. Like, let's say I want, let's see here. Let's say we want high equity, owner occupied. No. So this means they own a property that is high in equity, and they're not currently living in that particular property. It does go a little slower when I'm doing the screen share. Bear with me. Then there's also these other things that you can play around with, like occupancy status. Is the house vacant? Maybe they have tenants in there. Property characteristics, right? So for me, I only want single family houses, is typically what I target, right? I don't go after multifamily. I do 2 to 4 units. I typically stay away from condos. Um, and then I don't do anything over 4 units, right? So I can apply these filters. I can do other things like here, residential only, agricultural, vacant land, etc. So you can play around with all these, but don't overcomplicate this, okay? Keep it super simple. All right? So I hope this helps on kind of understanding data, or at least knowing my thought process and literally how I pull data. You see, I mean, we're at like 11 minutes on this video right now. Literally within 11 minutes, we could pull data and start marketing to sellers. Literally that simple. It should not take you um, 2 or 3 days to pull data. Okay. But that's all. I hope this was helpful. Again, if it was valuable to you, please subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications on. And then also, I am hosting a 3-day intensive masterclass on getting started in wholesaling real estate, or just real estate investing in general. We're going to go over wholesaling, fix and flips, and even how I do the burst strategy and buy rentals. We are going to go over actual deals that I have closed on, case studies, dive into some numbers, and this is going to be a live interactive call. Okay. So if you have any question along, while we're diving into the content, we're going to be able to interact with each other. So that way, what you should be doing, so to speak. So if that's something that you're open to, the link will be in the description for that. But y'all have a beautifully blessed one, and I'll see you on the next one.